What Chadimus is a subsect to something I have built up called Everdream. We live in very scary times, and it's of great comfort to know that a lot of people are still trying. Anime has been with me for a long time in terms of not only as an artistic inspiration, but also as a community bonding experience as well. Take the suffering, and it will forge you into a better person. I was not seen. In fact, I was bullied severely. I was autistic in the late 2000s. I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was like 11 or 12.
Really? But you have really good social skills.
Thank you. It was those were forged in blood. I was scared. I was shaking. Like 2 years ago when I first started doing Chadimus and going up to random people on White Ave or like going to businesses and asking, hey, can I make a video for you? There's a lot of good in a lot of people that you may never see ever again.
You've continued to change a lot of people's lives, and I hope you never change, man. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the Long-Term Podcast. I'm your host, Advin Villa. Today, we have a local legend. He's known for his silly videos and him hosting these cool events, very silly, and brings people together. Chadimus, everyone. We will discuss content creation, anime conventions, and community building. Chadimus is very inspirational, and this episode is very honest, and it's very useful to people who may be going through tumultuous times, and being authentic is something that Chadimus really wants to highlight. I think we talk about content creation being very difficult, and how cringe can be the thing that frees you. Just exposing yourself to the cringe and being yourself. Because at the end of the day, what point would it be for the world to love you? But if you don't like yourself, then what's the point? But yeah, this episode is phenomenal. I am a big fan of Chadimus. I'm thankful now. I want to collab with him in the future. This is such a powerful episode, guys. I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Chadimus, everyone. All right. Welcome to the Long-Term Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Chadimus, everyone.
Hello.
The man himself. So what first inspired you to start creating content, and how has your style evolved over time?
Well, I'm a bit of unk status, as a disclaimer. I'm 28 years old, so I discovered YouTube in 2006, pretty much when the website started, and I would watch Smosh, the classic Smosh, Ian and Anthony. I would watch their videos with my friends at the time. And then also I discovered a stop motion animation show called Robot Chicken. And those two videos that I watched, like those two genres, really inspired me to get out of my comfort zone. I was like, as a kid, I always wanted to create. I always wanted to like make movies. And I saw other people, not only like studios, like obviously like Robot Chicken's a studio show on Adult Swim, but seeing these two guys from, where is it, Sacramento, California, make these videos together, and how much fun they were having was like, I kind of want a piece of that. I want to get in there. I wanted to create. It was a very vindicating sight to see when I was 10 years old. Well, it was 9 at the time when I saw it, when I first discovered Smosh. But it was the moment where it was like, that's it. Like, that's what I want to do.
I grew up also watching Smosh.
Let's go.
Was it Tuesdays or Thursdays? I'd get home from school. I'm like, Smosh is uploading a video today.
Yes.
And then I'd be so excited, man. And there's just these two guys with a skit, and they were just so funny. Yeah. And I also watched Niga Higa.
Yes. Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit of like a lot of PewDiePie, like the gaming videos.
Yes.
And I always envision myself in their shoes.
Yes.
Like I always watching that, I'm like, I could do that. I could do what they're doing. And like I'd ask some of my friends, like, do you guys envision yourself doing that? And they're like, no. Like a majority of them would, but like not to the fullest
Yeah.
extent. Like I was really
Yeah.
eager,
Mhm.
but like I should have started then,
Mhm.
because like I just kept telling myself, oh, later,
Yeah.
and now I'm 25,
Mhm.
and I'd already only started like really a couple years ago,
Mhm.
but like it was more like podcasting and
Yeah.
but it's crazy that you watch a certain piece of content,
Mhm.
right? And you get inspired, like, because you
Yeah.
get all these ideas in your head.
Mhm.
Now, when you were a kid watching that, like, what sort of emotions uprooted?
When I would watch these videos, obviously they're very funny. So obviously I'm giggling. Like videos like the food battle series, but also like going to the mountains. The Death Note video that they did in 2012, that was a good one. But it would be a lot of like, how did they make this? I would study the videos, not only just of Smosh, but of stop motion animations as well. Because my beginnings on YouTube were making Star Wars stop motion animations as well as Lego Star Wars animations. And I would have been about 11 or 12 when I started doing that. So I started very young, my journey into making videos. I've been making videos for 17 years now, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for a long time.
Awesome.
Long time. I think my first upload was probably like July of 2008 on a very, very old account that does not exist anymore. But I would watch these videos and I'd be like, how did they make them? Like I would deconstruct them. I'd be like trying to replicate their techniques into my videos as well. And then learning about editing autodidactically of like, how does one become a video creator? And I learned everything just by watching. And it was inspiring. It was hard. It was humbling as well because I realized I had no idea what I was doing. Like when you're young and you're making videos, you think you're top dog. You think you're epic. You think you're based, and you think you already know how to do everything. And then the more you create, you're like, oh, actually, I know absolutely nothing. Because when you look back on your old videos, like I don't know how to edit at all.
Yeah.
But you think you're the guy. You're your top dog. But it's a very humbling experience to go through making content for that long. And now I think I'm very good at what I do. But at the beginning, I look back and it's like, I'm glad I had that arrogance to think that I was good, but I was not good. I was not good at all.
You need to be able to propel yourself with the confidence at the start.
Yeah.
But like as you learn, you actually end up learning that there's so much more to learn that you you have minimal knowledge. And that's just such like a wake up call. It's a very humbling experience. And it's like, wait, all these videos that I've been watching, like I thought that I could get to their caliber.
Yeah.
Like here I was like thinking, oh, Smosh was something that I could just replicate. But even their like videos in 2010 were some of the most like
very polished,
very, very polished, like very synchronized, like even the music and everything. It's backed up by an entire team. So of course, but when they got to that level, they had to put in sweat, blood, and tears into that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't think of content creation that way. They just think, oh, it just looks so fun. It's like glamorous.
Yes.
It is not glamorous.
No, it is not. It is grueling. I don't sleep much, unfortunately, because you have to keep producing. I try and get 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes it's only 6. And that's not good for long term. You definitely need 8 hours of sleep. As Greg Touchetti says, you definitely need to rest. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like there is a vanity in the ignorance of when you start and you think that it's really easy, especially like on the current content creation landscape on TikTok. You can kind of just pull out your phone and film a video, and a lot of those videos they do well because they're candid. But I think a lot of people disregard the fact there's a lot of work that someone has to do behind the scenes to get to that level where they can take out a phone and just make something entertaining off the bat.
Exactly.
No.
Like a person that can just pull out their phone and sure, it's 60 seconds and it looks like they didn't really put in much because from start to finish, then post. But behind that, being able to do that, first of all, maybe they had to get over their social anxiety. Yeah. They had to work on their communication skills. Maybe they stuttered. Maybe they had a bunch of filler words before. The angle, kind of the moments, the feelings that uprise when you're there and like talking for 60 seconds or you're being filmed. It's a long time.
It is. Yeah.
I know. And sometimes I get this thought, and this is usually what stumps me, is when I tell myself, what am I talking about? And that's usually when I stumble upon my words and I end up, when I start overthinking it, then my
Yeah.
speech becomes all jumbled up.
Yeah.
A lot of stress is involved because being kind of the spotlight, right? All eyes on me.
Yeah.
Especially
Can't fail.
when you're in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in public, there's a lot of judgment that you'll get.
There's so much.
Yeah.
But you just kind of build that tolerance,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like for it to work, you really can't let the frequency in someone's in people's heads dictate your actions. You just have to, okay, I'm going to film this content.
Yeah.
And
Blinders on.
I'm doing it for me and also for the people. I want to spread positivity, whatever message you got. And as long as you're not hurting anyone, then really, what's the big deal?
Because even like when I do like that one video I did recently, and this is someone who's gay at U of A. I did it in front of the U of A sign, and when I did that, it was in between classes, so there's massive transit of people going back and forth on the sidewalk, and I'm like, this is the only spot to do it, and frankly, this is the moment, so I'm just gonna film this video. And people stopped and were watching me film the video, and I was just like, this is kind of, it was kind of like okay, now you can't back down. Now you got to go through with it, and you just got to be funny. And there was a lot of there's a lot of work. I think a lot especially with improv comedy, there's a lot of work that goes into that because you have to be cringe for like a solid at least 5 years. You have to be the most unfunny guy in the world until it clicks. So I'm able to pull out my phone and just film a video like, oh, I'm gonna go to U of A, I'm gonna be in a crowd of people, I'm just gonna say this, and then people are gonna watch that, but they're gonna laugh. Like I know they're gonna think that's funny. It's like, did you see that guy do that? But there's a lot of skill that has to go involved of like, all right, you have to be funny now so that you're not embarrassing yourself. Because you have to get over that fear of being embarrassing, because you will make a fool of yourself, and that's okay. But the success is on the other side of that. But there's a lot of skill that goes to make yourself funny in the moment and disregard public opinion and disregard any kind of embarrassment that you may have. It's very difficult. Yeah, it's not easy.
On the other side of cringe is freedom.
Exactly.
I mean, cringe is essentially just being judged by others and rejection, right? To put it like in just normal terms. Like when you think someone's cringe, that means they're embarrassing. That means that people think lower of them, that like they don't want to be associated, right? But you put it this way in all facets of life, whether it be you ask that girl out, that guy out, right? It's you get rejected, that's kind of cringe, you know, but had you not done it, how would you have known?
Yes. And then you live with regret, which is worse.
And then it may take 10 job applications and it's cringe showing up for an interview and not getting the job.
It's kind of humiliating.
Yeah, it's humiliating. Yeah, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
So what? With content creation, like it's mega cringe when there's when you put in sweat, blood, and tears, and the video only gets 2 views, and both are from you on separate accounts, and you're begging your parents to watch.
It's like, can you guys just give me more engagement, please? Just do something,
just
please.
Comment, look, Advin, like I got a life, you know, like please, just
please. One more, sir.
One more. But if you keep on going, if you're actually improved, because you can just put in the same slop and not actually improve.
Yeah, that's very real.
If you keep on doing the same thing and expecting like different results, like Albert Einstein said, that's like insanity. Yeah. Right. But if you're doing something different, like Mr. Beast said this with like every 100 videos and 1% improvement with each time, eventually you look back in that first video and you go, wow, I sucked. Yeah. But look at me now.
Yeah.
I know. So on the other side of cringe, with everything is freedom.
Yes.
How do you stay motivated to create even on days when you have low inspiration?
You know, when I was doing it before, I would say maybe 10 years ago, it was purely for the love of creation. But now it is definitely out of a sense of duty and professionalism. I really, really, really value the idea that no matter what you're feeling, you have to treat what you do as your job. Even if you don't make money on content creation, you should still treat it like, if that's what you really want to do, that is your job. So it means that you have to be professional about it. And professionals act and amateurs wait. It's very important that you set deadlines, that you set goals and outcomes for yourself. But then also looking at your calendar and saying, okay, like, how are we going to fill this up and how am I going to execute it? Professionalism is what keeps me dialed in and locked in, because there's a lot of people who don't take what they do seriously in their lives. And life is a very serious thing. No matter what venture you're going for, even if it's a hobby, you should take those things and put respect on those things. It is a great indicator to someone who does everything they do. Obviously, you don't have to be stone cold serious, but you have to take it with an air of there's a purpose to this and there's a duty to this. Because I think in a lot of ways, professionalism is you're owing what you do to other people. It's very important to keep going no matter what and say, hey, I chose to do this and I'm going to stick to what I said, and I'm going to fulfill what I had promised, and do my duty and be professional about it. Because I think a lot of, like, what I do with Chadimus is very silly. I'm aware, I know what I do is very, very goofy. I fought a guy in a gorilla suit, and I go to McHugh and I go to U of A and make a fool of myself. But I take that very seriously because it brings joy to people. And the professional aspect of Chadimus is that no matter what, I will deliver with 100% certainty of all my soul into what I do. So there are days where I don't want to do something, but it doesn't matter, because even if I procrastinate sometimes, like we're all human. Sometimes we're not fully locked in, but as long as something is completed to further the goal and to give someone joy in their day, that is the most important thing. Because we also have to recognize that, like, I think there's a lot of times people view consecration as a vain proposition, and a lot of times it is. I mean, you have to have a bit of an ego and you have to be a little bit self-centered to do content, because you're putting yourself on camera. You are trying to make something from your own presence, from your own personality. But there's a service in that, in consecration, in that there's a lot of people out there who are very sad right now, and sometimes they need that piece of content that you made to brighten up their day. So if I'm having a bad day, sometimes I think about, I'm like, well, someone else has got to have a bad day too. And I'm like, well, if they're having a bad day too, maybe this will help them. If I upload this thing, maybe that'll brighten up their day. Most things of what I do, I think, are of a great sense of duty. And it, no matter what, it brings me to the light at the end of the tunnel, I think.
Dude, I love that message. And no matter how you're feeling, no matter just if you're short on sleep, maybe you are doubting yourself, maybe there's things that happened and maybe there's a relationship, a little falling out, you still execute, because it's your responsibility, like, for other people, because you've built up a following, right? So people expect you to be able to be there for them, and it's like that parasocial relationship. You've felt it, right? Being growing up with content creators, and if they don't post, it's like, oh man, what?
He's like,
it's a big disappointment.
He's like, why didn't Smosh post it, or whatever,
exactly.
Kind of thing.
And it's instilling that trust too. And I like what you said about, at this time, this location, I'm going to film. At this time, I'm going to post. And it establishes trust. Because if you don't do the things that you tell yourself you're going to do, how are you going to believe yourself if you make plans in the future? Like with a friend, if you have a friend, you make plans, they bail out last second. They do, okay, you understand, because maybe the things just happen. Life. Second time, maybe it's just a coincidence, right? There's just things popped up. Third time, you don't trust this friend anymore. You don't probably want to invite them. And it's the same way in ourselves. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna post at this time and do this, and you don't, tomorrow. It's like, then you build up this narrative of, I'm the type of person to lay down objectives and not follow through. And that floods into your relationships, that floods into the way you interact with people. You're just a person that can't be trusted. And I really admire your work ethic to that, to show and execute. Right? I'm going to show at this time, and that's going to be it. And yes, it may be silly, right? A lot of people may judge me, but I'm not going to think of that. I'm going to find ways to make it happen.
Yeah.
What do you think separates memorable content from content that gets forgotten?
memorable content, it has to inspire. Memorable content must inspire someone. When I make a video, I want people to think a couple things. Either, how did you do that? How can I do that? Maybe also things such as, um, this really brightened up my day. Like I'm going to remember this, or maybe say, I wish I was there too. Especially with the live event videos, I really want people to feel a sense of FOMO. It's like you got to be here, like because there's an adventure happening outside, that maybe not everyone knows about. And then if you are privy to it, it feels kind of, there's an exclusivity to it. There's an inspiration. It's like, oh, like things are happening in this city, things are happening at these conventions, or things are happening all around us that you just got to look for them, and then it might change your whole worldview. Um, I think the content that doesn't stay is stuff that feels trite and it feels derivative, and maybe it doesn't feel very inspired, because you can tell when you watch a video that someone cared about what they made and they didn't. It's very evident. I think it's really important to put your passion into those videos, but also, yes, build that community. If a video, to me, a video is successful if all the comments are saying, "That was awesome, thanks for hosting that," or "I wish I was there," or people just saying, how does this happen? Who is bro? How did bro make this? That is it for me. Like that's inspiring content. And I we're all doom scroll, okay? And the videos that you remember, the ones that you've put into your favorites, are the ones where I'm like, that was very educational, like that was very informative, or I want to do that, or like there's something about this, there's an energy with this that I want to visit again. That's what makes, I think that is what that kind of content stands the test of time.
Yeah, it's creating value for other people that stands the test of time. It's how can I give someone the positivity, or like make someone feel like they're a part of it, or if they're not a part of it, want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that shock value of, whoa, like this is so creative. You could tell a person put their sweat, blood, and tears into this endeavor. And it seems like you've got an entire framework onto this. You've really thought it through. Before going into like the Chadimus, that's the brand. Did you build up like an entire Excel spreadsheet with like your values onto that, or did you kind of just slowly build up as you went?
Chadimus is what Chadimus is a subsect to something I have built up called Everdream. And Everdream is, there's two things. One, it's like my life's work, my Everdream. But Everdream is also the inspiration that one would feel by seeing someone else chase their dream. It's like a double helix, folding into itself. Of if one person chases their dream, it's going to inspire another person to chase their dream, and it becomes an infinite cycle, an Ouroboros, some would say, of dream chasing. And I think that's really important for people to be inspired to take those risks and to throw themselves into the fire. And so when I made Chadimus, my main goal was to propagate that idea onto other people of like, hey, if I can do this, so can you. If you have the courage to take up yourself and challenge yourself and put yourself out there. Because I think people have a service to other people in that they need to take risks in their lives. Because every path that you take in life is risky. Even if you play it safe, that's also a risk. And I want people to be a star chaser, to be a dream chaser, to be an ever dreamer, and to chase that part of their lives that gives them meaning and purpose. And do it in some ways with a reckless abandon, and say, I'm not going to put the shield up. I'm going to let the sword hit me in the face, and I'm going to take this charge, and take this responsibility and this duty to myself, and I'm going to let it consume me. And so what Chadimus is a vessel for that inspiration to other people. I think it's really important that Chadimus reach a wide net of people in that way, to inspire people of many different walks in life and many different places in their lives to say, I'm going to take up arms and I'm going to fight for my own dream and take those risks and live a life that would be, it may be We all die. And a lot of people won't be remembered. And that's okay. And I think you shouldn't be doing things to be remembered. You should be doing things to inspire other people. I think being remembered by history is a vain prospect. What you should be chasing is impacting people positively. And that is what Chadimus is at its core, is impacting people positively to maybe take a risk and be cringe, or take a risk and ask the girl out, or take the risk and do something creative with their lives. Because I think a lot of people, we live in very scary times, and it's of great comfort to know that a lot of people are still trying. And I want Chadimus to be the avatar of that, of giving it your best shot, giving the old college try, if you will.
I love that, man. That's when you see somebody that's an expert in any endeavor, whether they're the strongest man, or whether they're the fastest person, or whether they're just the local legend, Chadimus, you see and you get to actually meet that person. You realize that, oh, this person's just human.
Yes.
They have all their foibles. They have all their joys and sadness. And especially if you, right now, I get to hear your story. And here I was thinking that, oh, like Chadimus, like, it seems he's just a silly guy. He seems like he's happy all the time, but come to find out, you're this normal guy that has an entire framework, and you experience your downtimes where you don't want to edit, you don't want to go get after it. But since your why is so strong, and you want to be able to inspire people and show them that, oh, I can follow my dreams, you can too, and build a safe space for people, create a community that not only do they feel safe because they're there for laughs, right? And they are inspired and uplifted by the performances and the videos, and you come out of that and you go, huh, what if I can do the same thing? Plant that seed. And when somebody is asked asks themselves that, maybe you don't make it into the next kind of, if you do gaming videos, maybe you're not the next PewDiePie, but maybe you're responsible for creating the next PewDiePie. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody looked at your content and it was like, I need to stop with this shame, with this doubt, and I just need to get after it. And there's something about that that's so beautiful. And I think I don't think we can grasp the extent to like all of life, right? Because like our brain just doesn't have that much processing power. But when you think of kind of what you can't see, like you can't see inspiration, or you can't see positive effect. Like you can't see it. Maybe there's like a metric, maybe there's like biomarkers to show that somebody's relaxed, but you really can't see it. And I think the things that do matter, you can't see. Versus it's like the things that you can see, it's all vain. Like, oh, I want to look good so people can admire me. I want to make sure I have a lot of money. I want to make sure I have this so people can look at me. Like, look how good looking I am. But like they're not like gonna like nobody on their deathbed's gonna go, yeah, I wish I worked more. I wish I had more money. I wish I was more beautiful. It was like, I wish I had more positive effect. I wish I made people feel more loved. I wish I loved more people. And you can't really measure that. You know what I mean? Which is like something that it's tough for me, because like there's that vain side of me, right? That wants to push that narrative of me. Look at me. Look what I've done. But I find that so isolating sometimes, where it's like kind of makes me miserable. Like it's all about me. What? It's not about me, because the way we got to this stage was if Smosh didn't exist, we wouldn't be talking about them right now.
No.
And they're still going. Like they're
and honestly, they're still great with their whole cast and crew. I mean, the show has evolved so much that it really is going to stand the test of time. Like I don't think Smosh is going away anytime soon.
No, and you get to see them grow as people. Yes. And you get to they went through the drama phase, and you realize that, oh, nobody's perfect, and they reached the epitome of YouTube success. Yeah, and you realize that, oh, like it's not everything, but they inspired me, and that's beautiful in its way. Like life isn't perfect. I know you're into anime. Yeah, so am I. So what is it about anime conventions that make them such a unique and meaningful space to you?
Anime conventions are like the bastion. I think one of the last bastions of true, uh, unabashed expression that people can partake in. There is an immensely cringe aspect to anime conventions, but that is why they're so liberating, and that is why they're so awesome. It's because I think a lot of people face a lot of judgment in their lives because of who they are. At an anime convention, no one cares. At least to my knowledge. I mean, to my knowledge, no one cares. I've never felt judgment going to an anime convention ever. I felt only liberation because there's something about everyone coming together in celebration, something that they all love, that is immensely freeing, and it's kind of a great equalizer. There's a lot of influencers who go to conventions. There's a lot of people who just work a day job. There's a lot of people who are frankly unemployed who go to an anime convention, and it doesn't matter because we're all part of a fandom. And that is immensely, it's almost like humbling that everyone can put aside who they are in their lives and become their truest selves at these anime conventions, and just scream and laugh with their friends and be embarrassing on camera, and go to these panels and learn more about what they love, and to share art with other people, and to make friends, sometimes lifelong friends. There's something immensely liberating about that. And it is of great comfort to know that, yeah, in these dark times, people are still having the courage to go out and be themselves and to meet new people. And that is really wonderful, because I think everyone now kind of catastrophizes the loss of third spaces, and says that, and everyone's very doomer like in that everything's over, we can't go back, and no one wants to be friends anymore, and everyone's antisocial. But it's not true, because I go to anime conventions and it's like nothing changed. And there's something about anime conventions also that it feels like home and also an adventure, where I go there and I'm like, oh, I go to Oda Fest, for example, in Calgary. I'm like, I'm home, but I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. Anything could happen this weekend. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know what kind of thing I'm going to see. I don't know what crazy thing's going to happen. I'm not sure how this challenge I'm going to do is going. I don't know how this panel I'm going to do is it's going to go. There's something about it that is, when you return home to Christmas, just as a blanket example, there's a sense of tradition in that when you return home, everything is the same. It's almost like nothing changed. Your parents will kind of have the same conversations with you. You'll go watch the same Christmas movies. You'll eat the same food, and there's a warmth in that, but there's no evolution in that. When we go to anime convention, for myself, it is like returning home, but there's a new coat of paint on the wall, or we're eating something different this time, or we're watching something else. It's like the past and the future in one place. And I love that.
I love that, man.
Mhm.
And you can, like, a lot of people dressing up
Yes.
their favorite costumes,
Mhm.
their favorite anime characters,
Mhm.
and they're just appreciating the artwork that someone made, and then they're interacting with people, and it's just they're themselves. And I think
Mhm.
there's so much power to that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not themselves in the sense that they are the anime character, but they see such like a massive connection
Mhm.
to that character to want to actually take the time to dress up. And a lot of these costumes, like, they really put in a lot of effort. You could tell, like,
Yes.
the attention to detail, and
Oh, yeah.
then there's hard work in there involved, and it's beautiful, man. I love. I've gone only to one, and you get to see such interesting costumes, such interesting people,
Mhm.
and I grew up with it, and I watched all sorts of shows,
Oh, yes.
and I don't know, the exaggerated kind of feel to it, to like every emotion. It's like authentic,
Yeah,
right? Like when
yeah.
they're sad, like they're like the characters are very sad.
Yeah, very
When they're
expressive.
happy, it's very happy. Very when they're like nonchalant, they're super nonchalant. But it's just to be able to stretch your emotions to that extent is why I think like anime is a big part of my
Yeah.
life, because I'm watching One Piece right now, and like you see Luffy when he's like very angry, he's very angry, and when he's like just himself, he's just himself. He doesn't really worry about what other people think of him, and I can see an essence of myself in him, and I want to be able to extract that and kind of be like him, king. I want to be king of the podcasts. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. You grew up with anime?
When I was growing up, I was more into Star Wars. I became an anime kid when I was in high school. I watched Attack on Titan the first season in a single day. It was 10 hours. It was kind of grueling because I was like 8 hours in. I'm like, I've been doing this for 8 hours. That's crazy. But I had to watch more. I had to do it. And then an effect with all the other shows I was watching. I mean, I watched Gurren Lagann. I watched Kill la Kill. Watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I really got into anime in high school. And that informed a lot of my art at the time as well. When I was doing animations, I was really incorporating a lot of anime visual techniques and visual aesthetics into my work. Anime has been with me for a long time in terms of not only as an artistic inspiration, but also as a community bonding experience as well. I do a panel at my anime conventions called Let's Make a Shonen Battle Arc. It's a story creation improv panel where it's like Mad Libs, and we have a base script and we have all these cues for it. It's like a theater show, but we let the audience add words to our show. For the interactive aspect of it, and we play a lot into anime tropes, but we make our own stories as well. And the stories is evolving in a way where it is about the conventions, it is about the communities that we are a part of, and it's a very beautiful story. And I already have like 3 years of this panel already planned. We have it all the way planned to 2028. The story, and that's like my love letter to anime is that panel, and everyone it comes by like within like the hundreds, and we all sit down, we enjoy this piece of art, like celebrating our fandoms together in many different facets. There's like shoujo involved, there's shonen, we have seinen elements in there. It really all comes together as this love letter to this entire art form that we all love. So I can't get enough. I'm very inspired by anime. I really am.
I love that, man. And that's just like something that you're passionate about. And I think even when people hear this, you can tell that it's something that you really believe in. And I think like a lot of people say that, oh, anime is not really my thing, but it's just like books. It's like, there's different genres, and you'll eventually find one that suits, that's relatable to you, that suits your needs, like, and a way to cope with life. Because like certain characters will go through immense pain, and they somehow get over it through hard work or through letting go, like Vinland Saga.
Yes,
and I'm just like,
Thorfinn,
I don't want,
or Boy.
Or like even Demon Slayer is like literal, like I don't want to spoil anything, but he went like the family, you know, something happened to his family, and you know, he still looks at the lens of understanding and empathy. And I think that's so powerful to be able to look at your enemies and still go, that's still a person. That's still a person they're trying, and they were just dealt the bad cards, and that's not their fault, but not excusing their actions. I don't know.
Real. Actually, it's ironic. The character I look up to the most is Master Chief from Halo.
Ooh.
Master Chief is like, I think about the idea of Master Chief a lot, of this guy who in the lore, in the stories, in the games, he's terrified. Like if you read the novelizations about some of the events that happen in the game, his inner thoughts are like he's terrified. He's like, he doesn't know what he's looking at, and he's scared. He doesn't know if he's going to survive. He does it anyways. He finishes the fight anyways. And I think about that stuff a lot when I, not only when I make content, but I go to these conventions and maybe I'm doing something that like is nerve-wracking. I go on stage and I do a talent show, or I'm about to perform in front of like 300 people, or I do like a physical challenge, like 100 push-ups in front of a crowd at Animathon, or eat like 10 burgers at Odafest. It's like, if I fail, this is gonna be really embarrassing. But I think back to, you know, not the characters from anime as well, but mostly Master Chief, and I'm like, finish the fight, lock in, we can do this. I can do this. If Master Chief can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. What would Master Chief do in this scenario?
Exactly. I literally think that all the time. Like, what would Master Chief do?
Bravery, it's only valid if you're actually scared.
Yes.
Because the act of like running into a burning building, or like saving someone that's getting mugged, or like, it's because there's that threat to you, and like it's causing fear inside of you. If you're just like, if you don't care, if there's actually no fear involved, you're just being dumb. You know, you're just being stupid at the same time. Or it's like you're like a psychopath, or like you're not even human, you're like a robot. But like when you risk you.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it be like you're lending a hand and it could be caught by the dog, it's like the child's being attacked by, or it's like you're putting yourself in the limelight to be able to provide encouragement. There's that risk, that fear of what if it goes wrong?
Yeah.
Without fear, it wouldn't be bravery. It would just be being naive. Yeah.
And there's not only with going to anime conventions for myself and putting on these shows, but making content as well. I do believe that there's a heroic nature to the act of making those things happen. It takes immense bravery not only to go out there and put yourself out there, but to believe in what your cause is. There's a bravery and there's a heroism in creating things for other people. It's almost like the ultimate act of selflessness is putting yourself out there for the sake of other people. And obviously there's greater acts of selflessness. I mean, Jesus in the Bible talks about giving your life for your friend is the greatest act of it's probably the most Christ-like act that you could enact. It's the greatest act of love. I think that there is a great heroism in doing things in service of other people, which is why recently I've been saying a lot in public, like I am hero. Like there's a not necessarily that I am a hero, but I'm embodying a heroic act in being cringe and going to these anime conventions and putting on a show and making this constant, because I think there's a selfless nature to inspiring other people, which is why I love anime conventions so much. I want to give back to people what they have given me, because the people who go to anime conventions and watch my videos have changed my life irreversibly. If I were to die tomorrow, I could rest easy knowing that I had given it my all for maybe not even a large group of people, but for some people. And I think that there is a beauty in giving yourself entirely with reckless abandon, taking the sword to the face, not taking the shield, taking that act of heroism and going out there and showing the world what you love. Because I think there's a lot of people assume that there's a lot of vanity with what I do, and it is true. Like I do a lot of it because I like being in the spotlight, I like being the center of attention. But I do this because I love people so much that I want to give back to them, because the debt that I owe to people in my life is the only way I can pay it back is by doing this. Is by laying out there.
I love that, man. That's awesome. That is really inspiring.
Thank you.
I really look up to that message. Very driven, and you have good set of values. How do you think conventions help people express parts of themselves that they can't show in everyday life?
I think anime conventions not only like they give people a safe space to be themselves and share their art and share what they really love. But I think what anime conventions do at their core is that they allow you to feel seen in ways that maybe you didn't realize. I'm into a lot of very obscure things. One of my favorite video game series of all time is called Stalker. And it's a Ukrainian game, and it's based off the movie Stalker and the book Roadside Picnic, and where it's about this zone where this strange disaster has kind of happened. In the Stalker games, it's the Chernobyl exclusion zone. And there was an esoteric event that happened that made it kind of this strange spiritual wasteland where, to get very esoteric on you, there's an old school of thought where there's the geosphere, which is all the matter that we're standing on, the biosphere, which is us and all living things on the earth. And there's another thing called the noosphere, which is the conscious field that surrounds the earth of all conscious thought of sentient beings, then surrounds the earth. It's like an informational field. And in the game, this informational field is messed with, and the earth retaliates by cursing the zone almost in a way of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. And I thought this was esoteric and no one knew about this thing. But I see it at anime conventions being cosplayed, and it makes me feel a sense of like, oh, I feel seen.
Not just me.
It's not just me. There's other people. There's a whole community that also sees how swag this thing is. That's awesome. Even some like me, like I like very mainstream stuff, but those obscure things, that matters a lot to people. I think to be seen and to feel like I'm not weird. There's other people who love this too. That's really valuable. Could you repeat the question one more time as well? Because I want to add a little bit more to it.
How do you think conventions help people express parts of themselves they can't show in everyday life?
I think it also allows people to enact that bravery that's inside them. Maybe get out of their comfort zone a little bit, because I think a lot of people assume that people go to anime conventions are antisocial and that they don't want to make friends. And a lot of that is incorrect. I think people go to anime conventions because they want friends and they want to feel that community. And I think not having that be an online space only is really valuable, especially now that human to human contact that you get at anime conventions is unparalleled. There have been many times I've been moved to tears at anime conventions, not only because of the work that I've done that's inspired people, but the sense of like, it's overwhelming being surrounded by people who see you. Because when I was a kid, I was not seen. In fact, I was bullied severely. I was autistic in the late 2000s. I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was like 11 or 12.
Really? But you're
Yeah.
like, you have really good social skills.
Thank you. It was those were forged in blood.
Is that like trained? Like you had to like really study
Yeah,
people?
I had to, because I was when I say I was bullied severely, like I was being attacked by like 10 guys at once. It was a 1v10s a lot,
Really?
and
Like same perpetrators?
same perpetrators. Yeah, at Brentwood Elementary School here in Sherwood Park.
Man.
And the staff would also put me into the room, and the room is like this concrete 4x4 nothing cell. There's nothing in it but a mat and a window. I was put in there a lot because I was misbehaving a lot, because I was having outbursts, because I was being attacked, and I was admittedly a lot of this was I did this to myself because I wasn't regulating myself properly, and I was seen as a target because it was funny, and so I was bullied severely. And I was made fun of a lot, even for the videos I was making as well. And so when I go to anime conventions, all of that doesn't matter. It's like I finally can move on from that. And I have moved on from that. I think I've made peace with the fact that that happened to me as a child, and that it was brutal. And when I go to anime conventions, it feels like all that has been washed away. And I can finally be at peace and be with people who see me and that get it. And I think a lot of people think that I recognize I'm a very handsome guy and a very confident guy, and I give off very good energy, and I think that a lot of people are, don't assume that I have autism because of how good my social skills are, but I had to pay a massive tax for that, and it was paid for with immense suffering. And I think a lot of people don't think that I've gone through that, but I have. And I think some people don't think that I relate to them because of who I am and what I've become, but I do. I really understand it. And when I go to these anime conventions, it's like it is going back home.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. I think kids can be
kids can be brutal.
Tough.
Kids can be brutal.
But yeah, it's crazy that you didn't let that define you, though, because majority of people that are bullied and that go through tumultuous times, and here you are locked up, like even like ostracized by the staff, and like 10 kids going after you, which they were probably most likely the popular kids too. Yeah, and when people see that and nobody sticks up for you, it's like so isolating, and your lens of the way people work gets murky, and you end up thinking that everybody's just wanting to hurt you. And then to be able to go against those beliefs and to build a foundation now that you are Chadimus, and like you put yourself out there, and you still continue to create videos despite all the backlash that you got from it in person and online. It's an incredible story. And I think there's someone listening right now that's going through the exact same thing you're going through, whether they're autistic or they have Asperger's. I thought your videos on the reels, like when you said you have autism, was a joke.
Yeah, no. Like that's real. That is real.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I guess because I'm like, this guy's got like guy knows how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with you,
Mm-hmm.
even right now. Like we're just vibing.
Yeah.
So how does that work when, like, how did you develop your social skills to be able to, be Chadimus? Like,
this is actually a hack for anyone who has autism out there. Just study movies and how people talk in movies. That's how I learned how to really socialize, was embodying character archetypes. It's like, okay, so if someone is in this scenario, that they should respond like this. And I kind of just internalize it. At first, I would really think about like, okay, like, what should you say to this person, and how should I go about it? But doing repetitions, doing that volume so many times, you kind of just internalize it. But a lot of it was embarrassing myself. I'm funny because, again, I was unfunny for like, I was probably unfunny since the day I was born until like some random Tuesday in September in grade 9 in like 2012. Like it took me so long to be like, that's how you're funny. That's how you be funny. Or like, that's how you talk to people. It was just immense trial and error, just trying out everything possible, embodying those archetypes that you'd see in movies and in video games. That's how it occurred, because man, I was so embarrassing as a child. I was so embarrassing, and I was so lost. But then, yeah, it was just that courage to keep trying. Which is why that's why like courage and being heroic and having bravery is so important to me, because those things changed my life. It was with that reckless abandon, again, like taking the sword to the face. And I use that example because like rough history lesson, during the Roman Civil War, before Caesar ascended the throne of Imperium with the Roman Empire. Well, but obviously he wasn't the first emperor. Augustus was, but he paved the way for Imperium during the Civil War. With, I think his last name is Pompey. A lot of Pompey's soldiers were very young, so they were very vain, and they didn't want to lose their innocence or lose their face or to be injured. But a lot of Caesar's soldiers were veterans of all the wars in Gaul, and so he instructed his soldiers to aim for their faces because they'll put the shield up. And I've internalized that lesson in saying, like, don't put the shield up. Take it. Take the embarrassment. Take the loss. Take the suffering, and it will forge you into a better person. And that is how I was able to become who I am and become charismatic and become someone who can hold a conversation. It's by taking those risks, and it's uncomfortable, and it sucks, and it's grueling, and there's days where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. When I first started this, I was scared. I was shaking. Like 2 years ago, when I first started doing Chadimus and going up to random people on White Ave, or like going to businesses and asking, hey, can I make a video for you? Or just going to conventions and walking around and talking to people I've never met before. It was scary. It was terrifying. I had never been more scared. The judgment I was hyper fixating in my mind was almost crippling. Like I remember shaking, like actually shaking, of like the thought of like walking around and doing this.
Yeah, you must have been just so
right
inside, right? Like
right.
And a lot of people like may just look at you and it's like, oh, it's just the guy, but like inside, you're like, it's a war.
Yeah, it really is. It's like that. It's that war for yourself. Almost. And obviously I don't want to like trivialize, like war is not a pretty thing. War is not a beautiful thing.
Of course, yeah.
But there is like there's a power in waging one inside yourself to become the person that you want to be. And so when someone says that they can't do something because of blank, I want to fight against that, because a lot of people said I couldn't do this. My parents said I couldn't do this. Be a content creator. They said I didn't have the social skills. They said I didn't have the social fortitude. They said that I wouldn't be able to handle the pressure, and I did. I was able to.
And it's sometimes it comes out of a place of love. Like they don't want you to be disappointed. They want you to be realistic.
Yeah,
your talents, but you yourself, if you try, give it your best. And if it's your best and it's not enough, then it's okay. Try your best.
Yeah.
What's one unforgettable moment from an anime con you've attended that still motivates you today?
My first standing ovation at Animathon 2024 after my debut panel, Let's Make a Shonen Battle Arc, the first time I did at that convention, I was moved to tears. Um, that moment still lives in my mind, and we have it on film too, like the crowd standing up and doing like the fact that we have that as a historical record as well. Very powerful. Um, I do everything because of those people, and that is what keeps me going. There's also one memory also that's really beautiful at Amathon 2024 as well. I did my first vendor booth there ever, selling my merch, and at the very end, we're talking like, what was it, like 4:59 p.m. on the Sunday, this Polish girl comes up. I cannot remember the name, unfortunately. It's been a long time since I've seen this person. But they were doing a cultural exchange with all the vendors, and she's like, hey, I want to teach everyone a Polish word before I go. And I was listening to Michael Jackson's album History, which is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. Just the week before, and the song Smile stuck in my head. I asked them like, oh, like what is smile in Polish? And if anyone speaks Polish, I apologize. I'm probably gonna butcher this, but this is a uśmiech, I believe is how you say smile in Polish, and she taught me that, and that put into a frame of reference of like these conventions are more than just fandom celebrations. It's human connection on a very deep level, and it's a cultural exchange as well, not just of Japanese culture onto Western culture. It's people from all over the world are coming here to share bits of themselves with other people, which is really beautiful. And I think about that moment a lot when it comes to sharing my story with other people. Like I'm sharing a part of a myth. I'm sharing a myth with other people. And I'm getting shakes just thinking about it, because like there's a great power in sharing not only your personal myth, but your people's myth, your culture's myth, your country's myth with other people as well. That's really powerful. We are all bound by narrative and bound by myth. And sharing those heroic stories, or even just those mundane stories, can change people's lives. It really can.
That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's like just sharing about your culture and it's talking about what's true to you. Yeah. Because you can search anything up online. There's vast amounts of information out there. Or you can talk what's true to you. What did you actually learn? And it's like that brief interaction for like a couple minutes. Is just so beautiful that you just can't replicate. That's like part of the human experience, to be able to connect. Like we are one, at the end of the day. It's so beautiful. So what have you learned about bringing people together that most people overlook?
I think a lot of people, when they build, or rather they go for the experience of community building, or they think about community building, they think about the one person or the one thing that they're all coming together for, like it's only focused on that. Where actually what I've learned is that people are building relationships with each other, being surrounded by this community. So people come to the events for me, but they end up meeting lifelong friends after going to these events. And in some cases, people have gone to relationships, like romantic relationships with one another, because they met each other at a Chadimus event, which is really crazy to think about. Actually, I did a cameo a couple of days ago from one partner to another. Like the one partner said, hey, we met because of you. Like, can you make a message for this person that's going through something right now? And I thought that's really beautiful. Like, and I did this May Cafe about, 3 weeks ago. And they also said like, yo, we met because of you. And now we're going on a date at your event that you're hosting because we met because of you. That's really cool. And even like people message me like, I met my best friend because we both bonded over seeing you at a convention. People overlook that. The community is not just about surrounding the work that I do. It's forging relationships that are going to be lifelong with a lot of other people as well. And that's really awesome. Like that's so awesome.
It's like bringing people together, and one person had no idea of the other person even existing, but they bond over just Chadimus. And it's just, and then years later they tell you, and it's like, well, I would have never known, but like this happened. It's so beautiful to be able to see connections form, and to be able to make people feel less lonely, because they found their wife, they found their husband, they made a new friend, and it's just making this world a better place, right? And I think community is one thing that AI can never replace. It's just one thing where even on one-on-one, like it's different when it's one-on-one with people, but community, you feel this like drive, you're uplifted, and there's the little interactions that you have, you learn so much, and it's remarkable, and it brings us together. How do you create a sense of belonging for people who may feel awkward, shy, or new to the space?
Making them feel seen is really important. So when you converse with them, I do a show at the end of the show. People want to come up and meet and chat. It's like my responsibility to facilitate those conversations, because I think people really want to be seen, and I want people to be seen. I think it's really important that you give people the time of day and allow them to express themselves fully to you. Making them feel seen is really important. And as we were talking about before, relating my experience to other people as well. Like, some people may not think that I know ball, but I do, and I know what it's like to be ostracized. I know what it's like to be the other. I know what it's like to be not included, and I want people to feel that at all times with me. I think it's really important that if someone's new to the space, that I encourage them. Maybe not even just like AMA conventions. Maybe people want to make videos. Like, encourage them to make those videos, and encourage them, like, hey, like, even if sometimes like it doesn't fall through, like, hey, like, I can't help you with that, but I really want you to succeed. So like, I believe in you. Like, you'll find the way. It's really important to encourage and to let people know that you get it. You really do understand it. Yeah.
It's next level. Like, physical pain is something that you can actually do. Like, you get a cut, clean it out, band-aid, feels, then you can see it heal. But with emotional pain and like trauma, like, you can't see it, and it's just like not being seen. Like, I've never but like, to the extent that you've gone through in school, I've never experienced that, but I have been in friend groups where like I can tell they just didn't like me. I just didn't feel belonged. And I just felt like isolated. I felt like they're not listening to me. They don't like me for who I am. And so I wanted to act like them and change who I was to just fit the mold. And then they ended up liking me, but then I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I like, there was always these thoughts of like, I always wanted to be the popular kid, and I kind of was, in a way. Like, I was invited to parties and I was recognized, but like, I was confident, but it was in the way where I was like, I thought negatively about other people, and it was rooted in insecurity, and I kind of outsourced my validation to other people. But it's crazy to like, looking back, like, I thought I was confident, and I thought like I had community, but I didn't. Now that I know, talking to creators like you, where I can have my thoughts of like being long term and all these like cringe stuff. I do, like, last night I was at the Pine. I just my buddy recorded a video of me dancing on the table, and
Let's go.
like, and then they all uplifted me, versus like maybe some kids, like, there's a different group of people that would look at that and be like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself out like that? And I'm like,
why not?
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, they have their reasons. Like, they just want a lot more peace. Maybe they don't want that.
Yeah.
And that's they don't have to consume my content, and maybe they don't, like, I'm sorry that I'm in their space, but they can move to another area. I'm not gonna be there for long. But I'm a firm believer that there is a place for you in this world.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be a community that will accept you and love you for who you are. And there's also going to be people that will hate you for who you are.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to see both ends of the spectrum. And it's phenomenal that you've grown the way that you are. Like, you experience like the pain and suffering, so now you can create a safe space for people that have undergone the tumultuous times, right? Or maybe they just feel lonely, or like, you can tell they're anxious, because you know what it's like to be, to feel ostracized and to feel like so low. But now you can empathize with people who are going through the exact same thing, or you can just connect with people better because you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's important. It teaches you how to be humble. It teaches you
Yeah.
how to be a better human.
Yeah. There is an immense cruelty in being ignored. And I think it's one of the cruelest things you can do to someone is ignoring them. And so I make it a great point to, if someone's anxious to see me and they're nervous to say the first word, I will go ahead and say the first word. Like if they want to come up to me and I know that they're like nervous, I will say, hey, first. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then they'll open up. But I think it's an immense cruelty, and it's almost evil to ignore someone, especially when they're in a great time of need. And I think I really want people to feel seen with me. I want people to feel like I recognize them, and I want to empower them.
You see them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever notice people like you can see it in their eyes here when they're stuttering,
mm-hmm.
like when they not even just in like events or just like in everyday life. Like let's say someone didn't know you, like it's
mm-hmm.
not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a person that you just want to talk to because
mm-hmm.
like you're maybe curious about something, or you just want to make a friend. You seem like the guy's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that like some people like stutter and their eyes dart, and you can
mm-hmm.
tell like they're going through
mm-hmm.
like the inside tumultuous time in there?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just like people like, oh, probably think, oh, what are they thinking of me? And I kind of go about it as I just try to accept them. Like that's part of who they are, you know, like I don't try to fix them. It's just like you try to hear them out and you wait for them. Cause like I've also been in times where I like stuttered or like, oh, I said something wrong, you know, and it's like, now what are they thinking of me? And then the other, you can see the person's face contort. Like they look uncomfortable. They look like freaked out. So I tried to like level like the same kind of face, even when someone's stuttering or someone's like really nervous. I try to just, okay. And then maybe try to follow up questions. Like even if what they said didn't make sense because they were so nervous, I should just go, oh, Hawaii, what was that like? And eventually through like just not ignoring, but like not acknowledging that they are nervous, like it eventually dissipates and the barriers go down. Yeah.
No, and that is it. What a privilege it is to be able to talk to someone and learn about them, and in a lot of ways, build them up. And I think by facilitating them and just by giving them a space to, hey, just let it all out, or just, you know, have that energy to allow them to say whatever they need to say and be calm eventually. Like that I think a lot of people don't recognize how much of a privilege it is to be able to even to talk to people and to build those relationships and just try and just give it a shot and have that bravery and just go out there and meet people and see them and see them for all their faults and all their blessings. And I think it's really important, to just like if someone is having a tumultuous time, they're having difficulties, just I give them the space, and let them grow and let them be them.
Yeah. Going back to your story about like this esoteric idea of this like unique idea, and then finding out that there is like someone cosplaying. I've always had this fear that like when people truly know who I am, they're gonna ostracize me. They're not gonna like me. They're like, I'm gonna be homeless because I'm not gonna be able to like afford anything because I won't get a job because they're gonna start spreading rumors. Like worst case scenario. But come to find out, once I've changed like the way I talk, like certain topics, like I'll still do small talk. But I do love my deep talks about like who I am and like what I've gone through. And I come to find out that, oh, like you're not like, you're also feeling anxious a lot of the time. Oh, you're also feeling a lot of doubt. And oh, that thing happened to your mom as well, or like you have trust issues, or like and I have this like massive fear of just like there's no safety net, right? Where like if things go wrong, it's all on me. But it's like no, but there's like you have an entire like ecosystem. There's your family and friends, and we forget that. And like strangers, I think strangers will help.
Yes.
Like I think the majority of
absolutely
people are good.
Yeah.
I think I choose to live by that. It will get murky when you just meet the wrong people consecutively, and it plagues your sense of reality. But like you see someone that passes out or like faints, like everybody rushes to help.
Yes.
When you see someone in need, like everybody's concerned. Like, what's that person? And even like we're just wired to like, if there's a car crash or like people will stop by and call and help. And that's, I think, no, in different timelines, that wasn't the case. Forgiveness is, and acceptance, it's not like it's been around all these years. Like Jesus, like when he talked about forgiveness, everybody's like, what?
Yeah,
bro, an eye for an eye, like a head for a head. You don't just turn the other cheek. What is this? But I think, like, yes, it's not perfect right now, and there's still war and famine, and there's corruption, and there's a lot of atrocities that we do inflict upon ourselves. But like, I think the world's a better place than it was. I'm very hopeful. Yeah.
And I like what you said about strangers. I think a lot of people overlook this. I think there's an immense focus on family, an immense focus on friends being your savior or being the people that you can rely on. But the people that have the most impact on your life are strangers, because they reveal something about yourself and they reveal something about the world that you would not be privy to because of the biases of your friends and family. Some of the most and I won't say romantic in the sense of like love or like intimacy, but I say romantic in the sense like that it is almost like a narrative that transcends time. There's a mythic nature to it of the Good Samaritan. This is like an eternal figure within all of our lives. We've all met the Good Samaritan in our lives who unseemingly, unknowingly, unsuspectingly, this person comes to your aid, whether they know it or not, and whether you know it or not. That will shift your worldview in a way that will irrevocably change your life. Some of the best things that have ever happened to me in my life have been because of people I didn't know. I didn't even know their name. And I think people should not doubt that power, where people say, I only love my friends and family, and strangers, I don't trust strangers. I say, to me, I say, welcome the stranger, because that stranger might be an angel. In a very metaphysical way, in a very metaphorical way. They may be an angel and you don't even know it. And so I think it's very important to be kind to people, to all people, and to give people a fair shot when you first see them. Because the world is full of strife, and the world is full of hatred, and it's full of malice. And it's those moments where, whether it's divine intervention or not, or maybe just the chaos of the world itself, there's a lot of good in a lot of people that you may never see ever again. And those are the moments I live for, and that's why I put a great emphasis on the bravery of trying something new, because you do not know what blessing you may receive by just taking that risk and hitting up that stranger you don't even know, or accepting that help from a stranger, or when someone comes to you on the street, just accepting that conversation and just letting it facilitate itself. There's something very beautiful about that.
Yeah, it's like a dance. You don't need to. You need to be able to, like, you can choreograph a dance, yes, but you can just move your body to the rhythm of the music. There's no, when you let a conversation flow and you connect with someone, there's no like, oh, you have to ask about the weather first. You have to, yes, there's protocols to make sure it eases its way. But once you kind of let both parties put their guards down, man, it's beautiful. Like the interaction, like with the stranger, they offer advice and you offer advice, and you bond over anime, or you bond over a movie, or you bond over what happened yesterday on the news, and you're all like, nobody's trying to like kill each other every day. You know what I mean? That could very well be the case in like a lot of the countries, but like Canada, I'm thankful. Why do you think strong communities matter now more than ever, especially in the digital age?
Because communities give people hope. We live in a hopeless world, and it always has been hopeless. Let's not make any misconceptions about it. Unfortunately, life is hard. Life is hard. Life is risky, and life is an upward hill. Unfortunately, we're all Sisyphus, and we must roll that ball of rock up the hill. But if you have people around you, it becomes a little bit more bearable. And I want what I would like the vision that I have for Chadimus and Forever Dream is that people can have hope for tomorrow. And it's also something I say a lot is that people facilitate people. If you bring people into your world, you don't know what kind of profound effect that might have on them, and that might change their lives, and that might give people another day. Because I know what it's like to not feel like you have another day. I know what it's like to feel like if this was the last of it all, this was the last hurrah. I know what it's like, and it was the love of other people that kept me going. And so when we build communities with one another, we are saving lives. We really are, in a very profound way, and in a way that it feels eternal.
Thank you so much for coming on the long-term podcast, man.
Of course.
This has been like getting to know you. Like we just met today.
Yeah.
And I can already tell you will do amazing. You have already done amazing things, and I want to continue to support you. And I'm excited for future collabs. I know you'll be out on campus, guys, at the U of A.
I'll be there. I'll be out and about. You'll see me on the streets.
Yeah, this is amazing, dude. And I'm so thankful you took time out of your day to come here. I know you're really busy with editing and just events and planning, and you still made time today to come to my show. And I'm really thankful, man. You've continued to change a lot of people's lives, and I hope you never change, man. I think, yes, of course, I want you to improve, but I think the essence of like Chadimus and kind of the values that you have right now, it's it makes me really, really thankful. It makes me believe, like, I'm Christian, but like I believe God exists because of people like you.
That's I really appreciate that. That's very moving. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for having the show. I think a lot of people do not recognize how hard it is to make videos and keep the grind for so long. And I really appreciate that this show exists. So I really appreciate you facilitating, and not only myself but other people, and letting people have a platform, not only from politicians but other creators as well. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, bro. We'll have to run it back again in the future, more projects. Yes. But dude, I feel like there's so much more. You know, there's so much.
There's a lot more to the story, and there's a lot more to tell, and there's more to be told in the future as well.
That's incredible. And then you're gonna learn so much more. But yeah, do you have a message for people out there that are struggling and they find life meaningless and they want to give up?
I'm going to quote. Okay, I'm going to go full nerd mode right now. I'm going to quote the end monologue of the game Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Let me do some Shakespearean moment for the crowd here. Life isn't just about passing on your genes. We can leave behind much more than just DNA. Through music, speech, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow, these are the things that I will pass on. And that's what I live for. We need to pass the torch and let our children read our messy and sad history by its light. The human race may come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this earth. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life that we can. Building the future and keeping the past alive are one and the same thing.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And as always, to everyone listening, there is a place for you in this chaotic world. Never lose hope, strengthen your faith, and keep it long term.
Ever dream.
Chadimus, everyone. Ever dream.
Ever dream.
Peace.
Peace. That was good. That was a fantastic show.
That was awesome, man. That was great.